Hello, I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan. I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of colour. So as you know, this entire channel is non-sponsored. None of my videos have ever been sponsored. They never will be sponsored. It is a video library for our global skin of colour family. So this video, a lot of you have asked me to review Suganda, and I always pronounce it wrong. My mum always tells me off because I call it Suganda. It's like, no, I need to get the pronunciation right. So I think that's how you say it. But actually they were kind enough to send me their products, and a lot of you have asked me to do a part 2. So I've done my first video on them about a year ago. And I was really impressed, I have to say, and I'm very difficult to impress. So you've seen enough of my videos. The reason is I have very high standards when it comes to skin of colour. For us, we need different skincare to Caucasian skin. For us, melanocytes are larger, they are easier to trigger than Caucasian skin. This means that we pigment very quickly. One scratch, one bite, or one burn, and we hyperpigment. This means we can't afford to irritate the skin. We have to be a lot more careful with our skin. We have to be a lot more educated with our skin, because the vast majority of skincare wasn't made for us. And so really it's up to us to make sure we're purchasing the right skincare for us. So that's number 1 for me. Number 2, I tend to prefer obviously fragrance free. So I call it NAF safe, meaning no denatured alcohol, because that can dry the skin. No fragrance, because that leads to contact dermatitis. That's the number 1 cause of contact dermatitis. And no essential oils, which can sensitize the skin. So those are my 2 first criteria I look at. And then the third criteria is a cost benefit analysis, to make sure that the cost of the product is weighing up with the ingredients in it. Because I'm a manufacturer myself, I know the cost of ingredients, I know how much a product should cost. And if you are being ripped off, I'm going to tell you. So yeah, I don't really hide my feelings very well. Everything is on my face, so you'll see it a mile off. Right, so today's video is about Suganda. It is a brand made in India, and they do international shipping too. And so I'm going to go through their best sellers, because there are so many products, and I'm only going to be talking about their unscented products, because those are the ones that obviously contain no fragrance. There's no point me talking about products that contain fragrance, because I'm not a fan of fragrance. So I'm going to be focusing on their unscented range. Also, don't forget, I am in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I'm here to ask me questions. Please do follow me on Instagram as well. I've got 2 accounts, Skincare by Dr. V and Dr. Vanita Rattan. I'm also on TikTok, Dr. Vanita Rattan too. And if you haven't downloaded your free guide for 2022 skincare, please do. The link is down below. You might have downloaded last year's guide, and I update it every year for you to make sure that you have the most up-to-date current information. So please do download that. That's my gift for you for this year. All right, so if that sounds good to you, give me a thumbs up. Let's dive right in. Okay, let's start off with our first product, is their Lactic Body Lotion. So this is 5% lactic acid plus 2% niacinamide, which I love. So lactic acid, I tend to say maximum 10% use, and it's a hydrating AHA, alpha hydroxy acid. It exfoliates the skin and it's effective at 5%. And I love the fact that they've added 2% niacinamide into it, because niacinamide does strengthen the skin barrier. I also love the combination of adding shea butter, which is basically an emollient which stops any water loss from the skin, any water evaporation. They also use helianthus aniseed oil, which basically also reduces evaporation from the skin. And they use anti-inflammatory allantoin too, which I love. I think you're going to see a lot more anti-inflammatory ingredients in your skincare in the future. This is one I love, and I would definitely purchase in time for summer. Moving on to the next product, which is the Calendula Oat Cream. Glycerin is the second ingredient. Don't forget, glycerin is a humectant. It's a water magnet, and your ingredients are in descending order from, you know, the highest percentage at the top and descending percentages as you go down. So the second ingredient means it's a high percentage, and putting glycerin as the second ingredient means it's going to retain moisture in the top layer of skin effectively. They've also added parky butter and hemp seed oil, so it is going to be very hydrating. Plus, it's a NAF safe product. So I would recommend using this product on dry, damaged skin barrier. So if you've overdone the vitamin A, your retinol, or you've overdone the exfoliating acids, this is a great product to purchase in order to create a healing environment for your skin to recover, especially if you live in the city and you've got pollution around you and you've got UV heat in the skin. You're basically getting environmental assault on the skin simultaneously. So it really is all about creating a healing environment for the skin. This one I'd recommend more for dry skin rather than oily acne prone skin. I wouldn't use this on oily acne prone skin. But for those people with eczema or dry skin or damaged skin from ingredients used, purchase this product. The next product I want to talk about is their White Lotus Moisturizer. So it's got 3% niacinamide, excellent again, because clinical studies were done in the 2 to 5% range. We used to recommend 10% niacinamide because The Ordinary was basically the only one giving you niacinamide. But in the last year, I think there's been a huge shift in formulations, and we are getting better formulations that are based on clinical studies. And so 3% niacinamide is effective. It does a lot of things. It controls sebum production. It repairs your skin barrier. It reduces any erythema and also any hyperpigmentation. So niacinamide is something that I would put, for example, even in our Inzincable. I put it basically in everything, even my Cera-Pep Brightening Moisturizer. So this is a Serrapep Brightening Moisturizer, which I'm wearing right now, and then the Inzincable on top. And both contain 2% niacinamide in it. You want to basically keep your niacinamide less than 5%. So you want to add it up. So if, for example, you're using the White Lotus Moisturizer and it's 3% niacinamide, you can add something else with 2% niacinamide and you wouldn't want to go more than that. This particular product's also got hyaluronic acid in it, which is a water humectant. So it holds water in the top layer of skin, which I love. It's got panthenol in it, which is anti-inflammatory. It's lightweight, which I also love, and it's NAFE safe, meaning no denatured alcohol, no fragrance, no essential oils. So it's great for oily, acne-prone skin. I think one question I want to ask specifically to India. So if you are watching and you are from India, if I was to collaborate with one of the brands in India, because right now we sell on Nykaa, but you have to pay customs and it's just too expensive. The dream for me would be to partner with one of the big brands in India and create you a line that's manufactured there, so you're not having to pay this 40% customs duty, which is, extortionate. I want to know, what is your main skincare concerns? Do you tend to have more oily, acne-prone skin, or do you tend to have more dry skin? My gut says because of the sweating, because of the heat, skincare is actually just being sweat off the face. And actually what you probably need is lighter moisturizers, lighter skincare that is going to hydrate the skin, because sweat is salt on the skin and that dehydrates the skin and actually can lead to quite sore skin. So that is what I think you would need, is anti-inflammatory skincare that's light, that is hydrating to the skin. But I want to know from you, from the ground, from grassroots, because I only ever do what you tell me to do. So I'm not going to even attempt this enormous task if you tell me not to bother, because it's a huge effort, but I will do it if it's something that you want and need. So if you are from India, please can you write down what your main skincare concerns are, what's not being addressed for you right now, and if I can help, I 100% will. So just tell me what you want down below and I'll make that happen for you. Right, moving on to the Antioxidant Serum. I love the fact she's put it in an airless pump. Excellent. Very often you will find an antioxidant serum in a pipette where you have oxygen around the antioxidant, which antioxidants are unstable. They oxygenate in oxygen. You do not want oxygen around your antioxidant, basically, because you don't know how effective it is by the time you're putting it on your face, and often it's expensive. So I love the fact she's putting her antioxidant serum into an airless pump. Excellent job. Okay, so they've used 10% sodium ascorbate phosphate, so it's non-irritating and it's at a healthy percentage. Plus they've used ferulic acid, which I love too, and that stabilizes the sodium ascorbate phosphate, the vitamin C. Plus they use anti-inflammatory centella, which I love too, and that is important for India. Because of UV, it's closer to the equator, so you've got UV heat to the skin. If you live in the city, there's going to be pollution that leads to free radicals in the skin, which damages your collagen. And all of this inflammation tends to lead to hyperpigmentation and dull skin, which is really what you tend you want to avoid. Anti-inflammatories really should be staple when it comes to skincare in India. Okay, so moving on to BHA 2% Centella plus green tea. I love the fact that, again, green tea and centella are both anti-inflammatory, so it's going to be soothing to the skin. This is going to unclog your pores, which is BHA is your salicylic acid. 2% is what we recommend. It's fat soluble, so it basically goes into that fatty pore to exfoliate it and unclog it. So I'd use this on your skin only at night time, and it's good for large pores as well. So if you find that you might not be getting acne, but you may have large pores, you want to minimize them, this is a great product to use, salicylic acid. Plus, I use glycerin as well, which is hydrating, which is also great for pores too, because you want the skin to be supple and you want it to bounce back, basically. So this is also a Dr. V approved product. The next product is a Centella green tea face wash. So this is basically Centella, green tea, panthenol and glycerin. This means it's anti-inflammatory, it's great for sensitive skin. And I'd use this as the second part of your double cleanse. So for example, after this squalene oil cleanser, after you've melted off your sunscreen and your makeup, this is a great second part of your double cleanse. If you don't know how to double cleanse, I've got a whole video for you on how to double cleanse, why it's important. But it's something that I would highly recommend. If you have normal skin, combination skin, or oily skin, I'd recommend double cleansing. If you have dry, damaged skin barrier, then I would avoid it. So basically, of all the products that I had a look at, there's only one product I probably wouldn't recommend, and that's their 10% niacinamide. And not because the formula is bad, it's purely because we tend to recommend now between 2 to 5% niacinamide. And so try and stick in that, because people may react to 10% niacinamide. It is quite a lot. And if you react and you get inflammation, it can lead to hyperpigmentation. So this is why the teaching has changed and shifted from that 10%, because the ordinary man, did 10% and the only ones doing it. Now we have more options. So go for the lower percentage niacinamide, because you'll get the benefits but without any chance of reaction. And that really is the tightrope we need to walk with skin of color. We want maximum benefit but without irritating the skin, because if we irritate our skin, it can take years for your skin to recover from the pigmentation. And that's more stressful than the initial thing you were trying to treat in the first place. If you want to learn more about skincare for skin of color, please do purchase your Skin Revolution book from Amazon. It's available on Amazon India too. I've published this with HarperCollins, and it's probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. And it is a reference library. It's something that I think every family should have in their house. It's something that our children should be reading. My 8-year-old daughter can read chapters of this book too, and it's a CPD accredited book, so doctors can read this book and get CPD points and improve patient care. So I literally have covered the entire age bracket demographic, and all the multiple pathologies that can happen, because often, for example, you may not just have melasma, you may have melasma and you want to have an anti-aging skincare routine, or you may be pregnant and you want an anti-aging skincare routine. So we tend to have multiple things happening, and that's basically what I've covered in this book. So multiple pathology in a really easy to understand manner, and I've used products that you can purchase globally. If you could write down any other brands you want me to cover for you that are NAFE safe, there's no point sending me a list of products that have fragrance in them or essential oils, because there's no point me doing a video. I'll just say I don't like anything. So if you could just send me brands in India that you want me to cover that are NAFE safe, and you just want, final approval or disapproval, you want to know the ingredients, etc., just write that down for me below and I will 100% do that for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.